Hey everybody, and welcome back to another First Time Watch Friday. I'm your host, Jonathan Moody. This is for horror film lovers. I think it was like last week or the week before, DJ Perry contacted me and asked me if I'd like to review his film Bestseller. So I was trying to figure out where to put it because obviously I have a lot of review pages and podcasts that I could do, but I figured this would actually be the best one, which is First Time Watch Friday. It's more of a thriller, honestly. But this is the film Bestseller. You can't tell from the way that the thing has it here, but so Bestseller was a film that I was looking on IMDb. I guess like maybe it was being made in 2015 originally, but it's just coming out now, 2022. I obviously independent films take a while sometimes, and people got to just understand that. But I'm very glad it's out. Honestly, I was pretty happy with it. It was sort of like a reverse Misery, you know. So basically, this was it book literary manager agent uh played by, and I'm friends with her on Facebook. So Melissa, I'm probably gonna mess up your name, but I think it's a Melissa Anschutz, but she plays Anne Harper, who's a literary agent who I don't know, maybe a year ago or so, or even sooner than that, one of her clients got murdered, and she came and found her, and this happens the first, opening. So it's not. I'm trying not to spoil too much, but it kind of sets the tone for the movie. So the rest of the movie is very much a horror thriller slash drama. There's a lot of drama in it. There's an issue with I guess the girl, uh was it the literary agent's daughter, has, I'm guessing, cancer, some kind of cancer. They keep saying it's back, but they don't say what's back. So I'm gonna guess cancer, some kind of cancer, some kind of related thing like that. Anywho, so she is there's this issue that she might be dying, and the doctor, played by Terrence Knox, who's in a lot of DJ Perry's type movies and stuff, and I always love seeing him and Anthony Hornitzer in this movie. Those two guys, I just always go crazy when I see them in the film. So, and they are wonderful. um and so and DJ plays a writer who had like one big hit, and sort of kind of the rest of his books haven't been really that well done, and so he kind of coasted on that one, and I loved it. I love seeing that kind of character with him, because he played the writer well, and his character has this like very serious tone to him and everything when you first meet him. And they find out later that I guess Anne wants to take a little bit of a vacation away. She can get some reading done, she can relax. She's going to go from Illinois to Michigan, and she's going to just relax for a little bit. And she drove, so I'm not sure how close Michigan and Illinois are. I'm assuming they're very close. She drove there and didn't like fly. But she goes out in basically the middle of nowhere and gets this cabin, which is always the setting for most horror films. There's, because it's seclusion, and it's the idea of like you're not around people or whatever. And so, anywho, throughout the movie, she's sort of being stalked by, well, no, before then, she gets a manuscript sent to her by this author who is who's sort of been isn't really good at rejection. So he like trashes things and he goes crazy and kind of scares her. And I swear to God, I heard her say something about a restraining order on him, but I don't really remember now, so I'm not sure. But if that's the case, it's really weird, you know. Um, don't want to go into too much. But anyway, and always goes to show you that restraining orders really don't mean shit to a person who wants to come after you. If somebody wants to come after you, a restraining order is not going to stop them. But that's the scary part of stuff. So anyway, I like once again, I don't want to spoil anything. I don't want to give any twists. I don't want to. I will say that a lot of it is formula. So there are lines that I'm like I kind of said before the movie came, did it. And there's like scenes where I'm like, I wonder if they're gonna. Oh, yep, they're gonna go do this, and you know, honestly, for an indie horror film, that's understandable. So it didn't bother me. Um, I actually, I sort of like when things do that a little bit because a little bit, and then it just had enough twists and turns where I didn't necessarily know where it was gonna go, like what was gonna happen by the end of the movie. But most of the time I was just like, oh, okay, so that's all right, that happened. That's crazy. Um, you know, a lot of it is like so the the writer who's sort of kind of caused a lot of trouble with her because of his ending. He didn't have a really good ending in his script or in his manuscript in his novel. So he leaves his newest novel there and we see somebody watching her. And then the rest becomes like a crazy thing. Like the story that she's reading called Bestseller, which is the title of this movie. So it has a little bit of a meta feel to it, which I thought was pretty funny and interesting, kind of cool. I like that feel of knowing like I'm watching a movie that talks about the movie that I'm watching in a way, or a movie that the book, whatever the writing. I always like that. So I kind of dug the idea of a bestseller. Now, some people might complain about that, and if you are one of those people that just kind of doesn't like movies where it's very meta and very knows what it's doing, kind of gives you a little wink. This might be sort of not for you necessarily, but I would still say give it a watch. There's enough original stuff in it. The characters were really well done. The actors who played the characters, I adored them. There was, like I said, there was some drama, especially between the mother and daughter stuff, and I thought that was very cute, and I liked it. I don't know. All in all, it was a sort of fun, interesting, entertaining movie. Now, we'll tell you, we'll kind of preface this. I even seen some reviews where they said the same thing, where it starts out a little slow, but it builds. A lot of times a movie will start out slow and it'll just keep going slow for like basically up until the end. This movie has some scenes where it starts to go, but the first, like, I don't know, other than the first opening, other than that, it's really a drama, and they do that so that it can build characters and you can actually care for the person, as opposed to watching a movie where you're just like the whole time kind of wishing everybody was dead. You're actually rooting for her because most of the movie is Melissa, in the movie. Like, it's mostly Anne. So it's, and she does such a great job just by herself. I kind of, I kind of was saying to myself, she reminded me a lot of, God, oh my goodness, Candace, Cameron Diaz. She reminded me a lot of like a dramatic Cameron Diaz, because Cameron Diaz usually does comedy. So she kind of did that, and I thought like the way she did her hair for that. And another thing I like that doesn't spoil anything, that I liked about the ending thing, where the credits had like all the places and the locations and even phone numbers for like rental cabins and stuff like that. I thought that was interesting. Give them a little bit of shout out, and even said like a lot of those places were sponsors. So I thought that was really cool. Like they were able to get like a couple cabins and a store, where she's going and looking around the store. And I wonder sort of if they sort of had those already like picked out, and then they wrote the movie around it, or like wrote the script around it, because it's actually based on a book or novel called Bestseller. So I think it's really funny that the bestseller book became a movie about the book that, like, I don't know. It's so, once again, it's a very meta movie, and I really enjoyed that. Like, I just absolutely adored it. I had a fun time. Like I said, there was nothing where I was just like, can we speed it up? Like, even the moments where people would normally think it's slow, I think it worked really well. I was interested. I was intrigued. I wanted to find out what was going to happen next. And who, and I sort of guessed twists and stuff, like I said, but like a lot of that didn't really matter. So, anywho, that's pretty much it. I mean, there's not really much else I can say. Like I said, I don't want to spoil it. I don't want to tell you the ending. I don't want to tell you these things that will make something that, but I do want to say go see it. I don't know if it'll be available on Tubi, or I saw a screener, so it might be available on like video on demand right now, and whatnot. And if it is, you can leave a message, like you can leave a comment if you are part of the film or whatever, and want to just kind of or maybe I'll find it and give it a link on the info below. But aside from that, once again, I thought it was fun. Like, it was interesting. It was entertaining. The characters and acting were great, and the direction, the cinematography was beautiful. Michigan was shown. I mean, there's a scene where she was reading on a boat, on a rowboat, and it was just beautifully filmed. And so the director of photography did an amazing job. And the music was just was beautiful, and until it was suspenseful and stuff. So there was just a lot going for it, which made it a lot of fun. So once again, if you get a chance to see it, like I said, it's not horror per se, it's more thriller, but I count it as in horror. It's got a lot of horror elements to it. Once again, it's a very like reverse Misery. So if you see Misery, you sort of know kind of a deal. It's not like, not exactly, it's not like a ripoff of Misery, but it's its own thing. And I would say, I think if you're into that kind of stuff, and especially novelists who are kind of dealing with rejection and managers and literary agents, this movie I think would be more up your alley. So anyway, thank you so much for checking this out. I hope you enjoyed it, and check next week out for a brand new First Time Watch Friday. Bye, everybody.